Are you a simplifier or are you a multiplier? So a couple of days ago, I was taking a morning walk and I was listening to a podcast episode on the podcast titled Exponential Wisdom, hosted by Peter Diamandis and Dan Sullivan. So in one of the podcasts, they were discussing the notion of a simplifier versus a multiplier and how they differ from one another. So essentially, a simplifier is somebody who manages to take complex things and simplify them and break them down and make them easier for customers to consume and to understand. So great entrepreneurs are able to take a difficult task and simplify it for their customers to use or to understand. So, typically, if you wanted to listen to music, you would have to get into a car, drive to a music CD store, listen to a couple of CDs, and then decide which one you want to buy and then take it with you. It was until Steve Jobs found an easier way to buy music and consume music with the concept of iTunes, which basically simplified the process of acquiring and listening to music. So you can actually say that Apple found or simplified the process of listening to music. So simplifiers are those people or entrepreneurs who've got the capacity and the vision to transform complicated things into simple products to use for customers. So if you look at the Macintosh computer, Steve Wozniak simplified, computers. If you look at the containerization of shipping, the container that we use to transport products or goods, Malcolm McLean, who is credited with the process of simplifying containers in a ship, was a simplifier because he managed to take something that was complex and time consuming and simplified it into a very efficient way of transporting goods via ships or trains globally. So simplifiers are these guys who are able to take complex things and break them down and come up with amazing, simple ways to do things. Multipliers, on the other hand, is somebody who's able to take something that is simple and multiply it out in the world. So multipliers are people who are able to sell products or sell concepts. And in his book, Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell refers these guys as connectors. So there are people who can connect you to important people or important markets. So multipliers are seldom individuals who generate ideas. They are not particularly adept at reducing complex situations into simple concepts. However, they have networks and access to people and resources that can spread the idea throughout the world. So let's use this as an example. Richard and Maurice McDonald invented a fantastic way of producing burgers faster and more efficient. But it was not until 1961 when Raymond Kroc, or Ray Kroc as popularly known, bought the fast food chain and ran it from 1967 to 1973 that McDonald's became this runaway success. So Richard and Maurice, the McDonald brothers, are simplifiers. So they found simple way of producing burgers or Big Macs efficiently. Ray Kroc, on the other hand, is a multiplier. He was able to take this concept and multiplied out to the world. Hence, we have McDonald's globally. So it's impossible to try and do both at the same time, to try and be a simplifier and a multiplier at the same time. Knowing which one you are you a simplifier or are you a multiplier, will it's such a great insight that I picked up from the podcast. So knowing yourself allows you to locate the ideal collaborator. So if you know that you are a simplifier, then you know that you need someone who's diametrically opposed to your personality. So you'll need somebody who is a multiplier. I know for a fact that I'm a simplifier, right? And most of my challenges in my entrepreneurship journey has always been when I try to be a multiplier, right? I come up with this great concept or great idea, but I'm unable to take it to the market because I don't have, my default is not that of being a multiplier. So collaborations between simplifiers and multipliers produce breakthrough successes, and they allow you to concentrate on your strength. So which one do you identify with? Are you a simplifier or are you more of a multiplier? Can you be both? It's not advisable, to try and be both. Brilliant multipliers need equally brilliant simplifiers, and brilliant simplifiers need brilliant multipliers. The goal is to identify your personal strength and then concentrate on them. The advice is for you, if you are a simplifier, to concentrate on being a simplifier. If you are a multiplier, to concentrate on being a multiplier. A simplifier plus a multiplier becomes a runaway success. But if you try and be both at the same time, you're going to end up with what is called confusion. So when you strive to be both, you end up not succeeding at both of them. So Steve Jobs needed Steve Wozniak in the same manner that Steve Wozniak needed Steve Jobs. So you want to have that collaboration. If you want to solve a problem, you need to be asking yourself, am I a simplifier or am I a multiplier? I'm sure that multipliers had to learn some concepts of being a simplifier, and also simplifiers have to appreciate the importance of having a multiplier. So I recognize and I appreciate that they both need to coexist. Don't try and be both at the same time. So which one are you? And if you were to go into a networking event, for instance, who do you need to network with the most? As a simplifier, I know for a fact that when I go to a networking event, I need to try and see who are the multipliers, who are the people who can connect me, who can take my idea to the next level. So I found that to be quite interesting. Are you a simplifier or are you a multiplier? Dan Sullivan in this podcast with Peter Diamandis have done an excellent job of deconstructing these two concepts for us. Thank you.